Hi, this is Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. And what we're going to make are bagels. This particular bagel recipe I know I make all the time for myself because I really like them. It is a basic New York water bagel. I do make the dough in my bread maker on the dough cycle. You can certainly make this dough by hand, with your dough hook. And your stand-up mixer, so it's your preference, of course. I just like to use the dough cycle on my bread maker because I think it's very easy and I have consistent results every time, so that's why I like to use my bread maker. But I'm going to start off by giving you the recipe right off the bat because I no longer put the recipe below or beneath the video, and I'll explain in a little bit. You will need 1 1/8 cups of hot water. Now I generally heat my water in a mug, coffee mug, and put it in my microwave. You do want it to be at least 110 degrees Fahrenheit with the water. You're going to need 1 tablespoon of oil. You decide on the type of oil that you prefer. Okay, you're going to use 1 tablespoon of either granulated white sugar. You can use molasses if you want, and you can use malt syrup. So you have 3 options there of 1 tablespoon of whatever one that you choose. I particularly like the granulated sugar, so that's what I use. You're going to need I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank here. 1 teaspoon, of salt, okay? And you're going to need 3 1/3 cups of bread flour. And then you also will need 2 teaspoons of active dry yeast, okay? So I want to show you what the dough looks like. This is just one bagel that I took out of the recipe, okay? And everyone has their own way of forming their bagels. Some do the rope method. There's many different ones, and you probably have the best method of all if you've done them before. I do mine simply by pushing down on them flat like that, like a circle, and then I bring it all together like this into almost like a little knob there, like that. And then I press it down. Then I give it a little roll between the palms of my hands, okay? And then I just use my thumb and I push through a hole in the center, and then I just work around the bagel with the rest of my fingers, rolling it, and sort of it just brings it around. You can actually feel the rope forming when you do that, and then you create a bagel like that, okay? And that's all I do, is I just kind of keep working the dough all the way around into that circle, okay, like that. And then I place them on a greased cookie sheet and then or pan, and then I like to cover them with a terry towel and leave them in the warmest part of my kitchen. Now on the rising, sometimes it takes 45 minutes, sometimes it takes an hour, depending on the temperature of your kitchen. But you do want them double in size. Now I have one to show you what they will like once they double in size. So let's go back to the one that I just rolled. You'll see a real difference here in the sizes, okay? So you do want them to double in size. This one has, and then you will need boiling water in a pot or on your stove, And then once it starts to boil, what you'll want to do is you'll just put the top of the bagel down into the water first and let it boil for at least 1 minute. If you're concerned that you think the minute is too long, you can do it around 30 seconds, but I like to do it for at least 1 minute. I don't have my timer on right now, but we'll get an idea of that 1 minute. Now, also that once that you boil them, you will want to put them on a cooling rack or something so that they can drain and dry out a little bit. Then once if they dry out a little bit, I like to just use an egg wash. You can put a little bit of water in it if you want, and I like to glaze them before they're going into the oven. Now you can certainly put poppy seeds on them, sesame seeds. You can do garlic salt. You could do kosher salt. I like them just plain, but you can certainly top them before, before you put them in the bagel. So let me use just this slotted spoon and turn it over. And then I like to boil them for 1 minute again. So 1 minute on each side. And then again, I place them on here to dry, okay? Then once they dry, then I put them on my baking tray, and then I like to glaze them, okay? So what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to wash my hands real quick and rinse them. And I'd like to show you what they look like once they're baked up. Now you will bake them at 400 degrees, and they can take you anywhere from 20 to 25 minutes. Now if you like your bagels a little bit more well done, go for the full 25 minutes. They'll be a little bit crisper, a little bit drier on the outside, yet they'll stay very, very chewy. And I feel very, on the inside. I like them more well done. Some people do not like them baked well done. So you're going to be able to decide what you think is best. All right. So let's assume, even if I ran a little short on that minute, you take out your wet bagel, let it dry. Let me shut this boiling water off here and unplug it. And then once they drain, just take your egg wash or your egg whites if you don't want to use egg wash, and then put whatever topping that you want, and then bake them at 400 degrees, okay? So I'm just going to quickly put that down on my tray, and then I would be ready once they're dried, and then I glazed them into the oven, okay? So let me get this out of the way. And once again, I just want to rinse my hands when I get close to raw eggs. It's a concern. All right. This is how they bake up, and they bake up beautifully golden brown. As you can see on the top, I hope that you can see that, as well as the bottom. Keep in mind, if you like them to be not as well done as mine, go a shorter amount of time, okay? And let me get a knife to cut it in half so that you can see the inside of the bagel, and then I can show you on the texture here. They will have a hard finish on top, not real hard, but it will be, and on the bottom. And I like that because I think that really gives the bagel that when you bite into it, it gives that chew to it. And then I don't know if you can see me pressing on the bagel, but you can see how it comes right back. They're not real heavy or dense, but yet they're not, light as air either. They are a bagel. but they just are delicious, and they're great warm, they're great cold. You can slice them and put them in your toaster oven. Put your cream cheese over them, or whatever that you like to eat bagels with, and that type of thing. But it's a relatively easy, basic New York water bagel. Now, to explain why I don't put the recipe below, is that, this is the time I always invite all of you to say, you know what, if you try this recipe and you like it, I'd like to hear from you. And I do. Or if you have a question, or if you have a comment. But what's been happening, and I'm certainly not alone on this, my work has been taken to other sites where it's been posted, pinned, claimed as theirs, and nothing is more frustrating than to see your question, see your comment, and I can't answer you. So I'm just going to ask you to please, if you're interested in watching any of my videos, solely watch me on YouTube, because that's the only place that I put my videos on. And I will definitely try to answer your question or your comment in a timely fashion. So I want to thank you for watching Diane Lovetobake. If you're so inclined and you'd like to subscribe to my channel and check it out, that'd be fantastic. Or if you just give it a like, I'd really appreciate it. So thanks for always watching Diane Lovetobake on YouTube, and I'll see you soon.